missing? Oh, I must listen with more attention.
Yes, absolutely.
It's one of my naughty little things that I do.
And it's in this show, Derek Nimmo is particularly fluent, I think. This is a good show for Derek. He had the ability to be able to take a subject and talk about it, but he has a moment when he says, he's talking about Aborigines, and he says that they hadn't seen another human being for 1,000 years, and Bernard Cribbins challenges and says, well, they must have seen each other, which of course is very funny.
But that's it. I mean, this is all spontaneous humour. To come in with those lines, I feel that if that had been written, it wouldn't have got such a big laugh.
Yes.
Because I have this theory that an audience psychologically knows that all this is spontaneous.
Oh, they can tell the difference, absolutely.
They can tell the difference. It's coming straight off the top of your heads.
Absolutely.
And therefore, they are part of a special moment.
Yes.
And I've proved it, by the way, because I've often, on occasions, sometimes gone back home and said, there was a wonderful moment at the show today when somebody said so-and-so, so-and-so, and Paul came back with so-and-so. My wife said, yes, and then what happened? And you realise repeating a spontaneous moment out of context doesn't always work.
No, it is a case you have to be there, you have to listen to it. What I find interesting as well is that when Bernard comes in with the very good challenge, and you say, yes, a very good challenge, and you give him the subject, and Kenneth's reaction, he roars with absolute laughter because it's one over on Derek.
Yes, there's all that personal.
There is a rivalry going on, isn't there?
Oh, there's that huge rivalry. But, you know, if the desire to succeed and achieve something, but also at the expense of each other. You know, if they just didn't care less, there wouldn't be a show.
No, quite.
I mean, people said to me that they seem very competitive.
Yes.
And I said, yes, that's part of it. I mean, if they weren't, it would be very flat and flabby, wouldn't it?
It's about being competitive, but it's about being fairly competitive.
Yes.
You know, in a fair way. You know, it's because everybody that comes on wants to win, and the people that we have on are successul people in showbiz. They didn't get there just by sitting around waiting for something to happen. So they've got drive, they've got ego.
But what I've often said is that they all want to excel,
yes,
but not to excel at all costs.
No, absolutely.
So, I mean, I've noticed with you sometimes, when you've been getting a lot of speech in and getting a lot of laughs, you often very generously hold back so that there'll be a better balance in the final.
Well, I think so. I think that's also being aware of thinking, you know, stop now, stop talking now, and let somebody else have a go, because it is about, there is a sharing thing that goes on, and there is a generosity of spirit that has to be there, has to be part of the thing.
And sometimes there's an edge. You jump in and you think, well, that was a bit of a sharp challenge, wasn't it? But it's true, so you have to give it.
Yes, yes, exactly. And they've got a controversial subject in this show. The subject was elephants can't jump.
Oh, yes. I thought that wasn't a good subject. Nowadays, the producer goes to a lot of trouble to get sure that we do have subjects which potentially can take off in the sense of generate fun. But elephants can't jump. I can't personally, knowing the show very well, see the potential for that one. And eventually somebody says, well, this is a stupid subject anyway.
I think Derek has a bit of a rant about it, because he do say, well, no, the elephants do jump.
That's it. So it turned it into a non-subject in a way, but it's in there. So again, being clever performers, they get something out of it.
Yes,
but Sheila Hancock is always a great performer. I tell you what, Sheila's a very strong personality, and she gives the fellas as good as she gets.
Yes.
And she really excelled in this show. And there was an amazing sequence about someone washing his pompadons. I don't know how it arose, but I think it wasn't that one. But I think Kenneth misheard it and thought he was talking about washing his pompadons. But again, if something unusual occurs, a word, a phrase, anything, you grab it.
Yes.
Because there's mileage in that, humour. And
what other shows would see as a mistake, we see as an opportunity.
That's absolutely beautifully put, yes.
Well, let's have a listen then to this classic episode of Just a Minute. This is from April 1978.
We present Kenneth Williams, Derek Nimmo, Sheila Hancock and Bernard Cribbins in Just a Minute. And as the minute waltz fades away, here to tell you about...